Good evening. It's 9 p.m. here in South Korea. Thank you for joining us on Arirang News. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has once again stressed the need to focus on the future of Seoul-Tokyo ties, calling it a win-win relationship. He also notes the growing need to bolster cooperation between the two countries amid geopolitical tensions. Our presidential office correspondent Oh Soo-young leads us off.
South Korea and Japan's bilateral ties are not a zero-sum game, but a forward-looking partnership rooted in the shared values of liberal democracy, rule of law and the market economy. That's according to President Yoon Suk Yeol on Tuesday, speaking at the first cabinet meeting held after his summit with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida last week. With Yoon's office having welcomed Kishida's invite to the G7 meeting in May, the South Korean president called for deeper reconciliation to forge new win-win relations, remembering history but not being shackled by the past.
날로 치열해지는 미중 전략 경쟁, 글로벌 공급망 위기, 북핵 위협의 고도화 등 우리를 둘러싼 복합 위기 속에서 한일 협력의 필요성은 더욱 커졌기 때문입니다.
Such issues, along with financial vulnerabilities, inflation and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, are among the top agendas for the upcoming G7 summit in Hiroshima. Amid various global challenges, Washington has been pushing Seoul and Tokyo to mend fences after their bilateral ties fell to a critical low in 2019, over Japan's wartime use of forced labor and sexual enslavement of women in Korea before and during World War II. The Yoon administration offered an olive branch earlier this month, with a plan to compensate Korean forced labor victims without requiring Japanese firms to make reparations or Tokyo to issue fresh apologies. With growing mood for reconciliation, Yoon and Kishida last week agreed to develop future-oriented relations with economic security dialogues and greater private sector exchanges. However, as Kishida faces 5 parliamentary by-elections next month, bolder moves by Tokyo to boost bilateral ties, especially over historically sensitive issues, may come after the G7 summit on his potential trip to Seoul.
And hopefully, when he's in South Korea, Prime Minister Kishida might feel he's more able to offer something more conciliatory, maybe pressuring the companies Mitsubishi Nippon Steel to make some sort of contribution to the compensation fund that's being set up, which is currently voluntary.
The leaders of South Korea, the US and Japan are likely to hold a summit on the sidelines of the G7 meeting, focusing on ways to increase trilateral cooperation on both security and economy. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.